Today on Listen Up, Hollywood endings. They're not always happy ones. The movie industry's latest fixation on the apocalypse. Next. Welcome to Listen Up. I'm Patricia Patty, in for Lorna Dueck. Massive earthquakes, worldwide nuclear war, enormous solar flares, even an angry and vengeful God. All are themes from recent Hollywood films that explore the end of time. Movies like The Book of Eli, Legion, Knowing, and 2012. Is the world as we know it coming to an end? Today we're exploring that question from our Christian faith perspective. Later in the show, we'll ask a theologian what the Bible has to say on the subject. We'll also meet one of the actors from the movie Legion and a movie producer whose company specializes in films about the end times. But first, here's how the producers of 2012 are promoting their film.
3 years may be all the time we have left on Earth, as December 21st, 2012 marks the end of the world, as predicted by many ancient cultures, prophecies, and scriptures.
Consensus of the ancient wisdom was that 2012 would be the birth of a new era, and like any other birth, it would be accompanied by joy and blood and pain.
Does Hollywood know something we don't? Or are they just tapping into a deeper cultural fear? Here's Ricky Ratliff.
Brian Bethune covers the religion and books beat for Maclean's, Canada's national current affairs magazine. The Christian belief that Jesus is coming back to judge humanity comes across his critique of culture. And it's a story of reckoning that Hollywood cannot resist.
It's in the air, so they'll sell. They'll make, there's such playgrounds for special effects, for one thing, so it's going to sell. But secondly, because it's in people's minds. I think both the religious communities and the secular communities think we're heading for some sort of disaster, or they worry that we're going to. So they're happy to see it made explicit.
It's Brian's full-time job to have his pulse on the culture, and it's his hobby to study it. He's researched the end of days and found millions are tuning in to the question of our earthly demise.
People think we deserve, I think on some level, something bad to happen to us, or that we've earned it in some way and that it's going to come. And also, the thing I've discovered is that numerology is the default religion of the Western world. When significant numbers pop up, things cluster around those numbers. The year 2000, when 2012 stuck a particular date, I think people began to find things that might happen in 2012 as opposed to finding these things might happen and looking for a date afterwards.
Why are people looking for a date?
Well, it gives you some sort of clarity, some sort of, well, I have this much time to build the bunker, this much time to get away, whatever.
Have we ever seen this kind of paranoia before?
Depends how far back you can call we. It's a very medieval idea. Through most of the later Middle Ages, disaster, millennial thinking that disaster was going to happen any time. And these are not people who believed in the rapture, that if you were a good Christian, you'd get clear of it. They believed the wrath of God was coming on almost everybody at any time. More modern times, there's been some suppressed apocalyptic thinking. In 1900, when people went up to ring the bells, when January 1st, 1900 came in, the experts shuttered them down and said, no, the century begins in 1901, and they all listened. Nobody listened in 2000. Experts just don't count like they used to.
Brian says Christian theology, which believes God is coming to judge the world, helps shape Hollywood's script for the big finale of the world as we know it.
You know Chesterson's famous remark that when people cease believing in God, they don't believe in nothing, they believe in anything. We have got 2,000 years of Christianity and Armageddon worry in our cultural DNA. Whether we're Christians or not, we think in that direction, that there is, history has a purpose. It's not going in a circle, it's going somewhere, and it's going to be worse before it gets better.
You say people think it's going to get worse before it gets better. What does Brian Bethune think?
I think, the sun will keep rising in the east. I think there's this long history of humankind yet to go.
So you're not packing or buying generators?
I have not got 10 years worth of beans in my basement or anything, no.
Reporting from the historic Fox Theatre in Toronto, for Listen Up TV, I'm Ricky Ratliff.
Still to come, a movie actor and a producer who've worked on apocalyptic films. But first, we hit the streets to see if you think the world will be coming to an end.
All these movies, well, they're entertainment, they're exciting, they're a lot of fun to watch. But I think most people, or like me, they're too busy living their lives to really think about the end of the world.
I personally don't think that they're going to happen at all.
I believe the end of times are near. And the reason being would be, according to the Bible, that the gospel of the kingdom would be preached at the end of the times, and we see that happening now.